that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to pray with me. Loving Father, Lord of all times and seasons, of all that has been, all that is, and all that is yet to unfold, we lift our hearts with gratitude and praise. We thank you for the countless blessings you have poured upon us, those we remember with joy, and those still waiting to be revealed. Today, we give special thanks for Colonel Keagan, the outgoing commander of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing. We honor his exceptional leadership, unwavering professionalism, and steadfast devotion to the mission, and to the airmen he has led with such genuine care. As he and his wife Dottie and their children Quarton, Carolyn, Madeline, and Kevin begin their new chapter in Arizona to serve as next-gen pastor, we ask for your continued guidance. Strengthen them as they fulfill their ministry in serving the people of God. Surround them with your protection and reveal your perfect plan for their future. We now ask your blessing upon the incoming commander, Colonel Geoff Cameron. Give him wisdom in every decision, courage in every challenge, strength in every responsibility. Fill him with diligence, creativity, and the energy needed to inspire those he leads. Bless his wife, Kim, and their children, Lincoln, Quincy, and Xander, with patience, understanding, and steadfast support as he embraces this vital role. Lord, knit together the 9th Reconnaissance Wing with renewed unity and enthusiasm. We may follow our leader, a new commander with trust, teamwork, and shared commitment to excellence. All we pray this in your most holy name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Beale Honor Guard, Staff Sergeant Wynn for that beautiful rendition of the national anthem, and Chaplain De Leon for the powerful invocation. The 9th Reconnaissance Wing would like to extend a special welcome to the families of the official party. Please hold your applause until the end. Joining us are Colonel McLeese's wife, Dottie, their children, Courtney, Carolyn, Madeline, and Kevin, his parents, Inspector Randy and Miss Donna McLeese, and Nathan and Michelle Rogers. Colonel Cameron's wife, Kim, and their children, Lincoln, Quincy, and Xander, along with his parents, Mr. Charles and Miss Loretta Cameron, and mother-in-law, Kim Nguyen. Joining us as well are Major General David Gatica, U.S. Air Force retired. Major General Paul McGillicuddy, U.S. Air Force retired. Major General Harry D. Palumbo, Jr., U.S. Air Force retired. Commander, 940th Air Refueling Wing, Colonel Andrew Gray and his spouse, Brooke. Deputy Wing Commander, 9th Reconnaissance Wing, Colonel Ryan Typolt and his spouse, Stacy. Deputy Wing Commander, 195th Wing, Colonel Danielle Hoffman. Command Chief, 16th Air Force, Chief Master Sergeant Andrew McKendry. Command Chief, 9th Reconnaissance Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Stephen Creek and his spouse, Kat, and daughter, Sadie. 9th Reconnaissance Wing Honorary Commanders, Willie Whittlesey Jr., Julie Hansen, and Paul Joyner. We would also like to recognize Congressman James Gallagher and Congressman Mike Thompson, our other federal and state representatives, our local elected officials and municipal leaders, our honorary commanders, members of the Beale Military Liaison Council, the Community Military Appreciation Committee, and our valued community partners and civic leaders who do so much to support our service members and our families. We would additionally like to extend a warm welcome to all commanders, chiefs, civilians,
And we will pass the very proud colors to Colonel Mick Cameron, the leader chosen to write the next chapter in the rich history of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing. But before we do that, again, I want to take a moment to talk about the true foundation of their success, and that's their families. And so to the McLeese family, Dottie, Courtney, Carolyn, Madeline, Kevin, thank you. You know, as I told the family earlier when we were doing a meeting before the ceremony, we don't pin medals and awards on spouses and kids, but we absolutely should. So thank you for your quiet dedication, your selfless service, and the sacrifices that only military families can truly understand and appreciate. So Waldo has, quite simply, he's had an eye-watering career, culminating in an amazing wing command tour. But the truth is simple, and it's this. He could not do what it is that he does so exceptionally well without the love and support of his family. So again, thank you very much. Dottie, a special thanks to you. So the sheer strength of Waldo's leadership and his family's resilience were clear from day one. So 2 years ago, when Waldo took command, he stepped up to lead the 9th as the lead wing for other combat wings in the Middle East. He and his family had not even 8 weeks. Less than 8 weeks to unpack their boxes, less than 8 weeks to get the kids settled, less than 8 weeks before Waldo led the wing and deployed into harm's way into the Middle East. And so Dottie, as I mentioned to you before, you took the Air Force spouse and absolutely redefined it. The Key Support Liaison program that you built was founded on love, passion, and purpose turned into action for every airman and family member that needed that support during that deployment, and then some. The time, energy, and heart you invested in creating a deeply connected Key Support Liaison program is, quite frankly, your legacy to this wing and to our Air Force, and it's a legacy of love and care for the airmen and their families. And so for that, the entire wing is forever grateful for your selfless service, your sacrifice, your contributions, your leadership. Thank you very much. To Mick's family, yes, how about a round of applause? So to Mick's family, Kim, Lincoln, Quincy, Xander, welcome to this next monumental chapter. The military, as we're talking about, is never a solo venture. It is entirely a family affair. This change of command is an incredibly important milestone for your husband and your dad, but honestly, it belongs to you too. You're part of this equation. The strength, love, and grace that you give to each other and to our nation is the hidden engine behind why we're all standing here today. So how about another round of applause for the family members? And so before I get into my remarks themselves, I'd like to extend my deepest appreciation for the team that helped pull this together. You know, these things don't happen on their own. It takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of coordination. It takes a lot of logistics. And it started and ends with the crack protocol team led by Courtney Lee, who did a phenomenal job, and executed by the exceptional project officers, Major Palmer, Captain Hastritter, and Lieutenant Swan Shera. Thank you very much. Thank you to our Commander of Troops, Colonel McRaney, our narrator. Apparently, Lieutenant Swan Shera is stepping in to do that as well, so thank you for that. Chaplain Major De Leon, the Beale Base Honor Guard, and Staff Sergeant Wynn, thank you for that stirring and beautiful rendition of the national anthem. How about a round of applause for the folks that pulled this together? Let me just say this clearly. I don't think there's a single organization on this earth that navigates, conquers, and drives change better than the 9th Reconnaissance Wing. It's a culture of adaptability woven into the DNA of every single airman in this room and those that aren't in the room. And it all starts and ends with leadership, the wing commander. Waldo, your command wasn't measured in days, months, or years. It was measured in bold, unapologetic moves. Because this wasn't leadership during peacetime, this was leadership during the crucible of crisis and war. Consider what the wing has accomplished over the past couple of years under Waldo's leadership. I think everybody knows the U-2 is scheduled for retirement. We've heard that story before, but the fact is it's scheduled for retirement. In the divestiture process, depot maintenance has been shut down, and the airmen of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing have carefully stewarded the U-2 flying hours to preserve the sorties for unanticipated combat mission operations in all corners of our globe. And quite frankly, the global demand has not relented, even though we are trying to go through this divestiture process. And so the American nation, our commanders, our political leaders need the eyes and ears of this exquisite capability called the Dragon Lady. America and its allies and partners needed you, and you delivered every single time. And despite the divestiture, I love the fact that the instructors are still hooking pilots. I mean, that's a fantastic sign, and it shows that they care about keeping standards high. And I often say that attitude is a reflection of leadership, culture is a reflection of leadership, and Waldo McLeese has set the right attitude and the right culture. Over these 2 years, this wing flew 8,300 hours across every single combatant command, delivering an asymmetric, decisive, strategic advantage to our nation's highest policymakers, their commanders, and the warfighters on the ground. You scaled the Common Mission Control Center's throughput, training 130% more students per year, and you surged your global force offer by over 400%. And you did both with 0 additional resources. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not math, that's leadership. You locked in Beale as the absolute #1 preferred spot for the collaborative combat aircraft and brought home the prestigious 2025 Commander-in-Chief's Installation Excellence Award. And less than 2 months after returning from a grueling deployment where you sent all of your mission support ground leadership overseas, you hosted a flawless community air show, the first in 7 years. However, the true test of leadership doesn't happen when the waters are calm. It happens during the storms. And over the past couple of years, we've had our fair share of storms. And that's where Waldo in the 9th truly cemented its legacy. Combat operations in South America, across the Middle East. When our nation faced critical threats, Waldo's leadership drove the outcomes America needed. Operation Rough Rider, the Israeli 12-day war, Operation Midnight Hammer, Operation Absolute Resolve, Operation Epic Fury. The men and women of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing flying high-stakes missions over Iran and turning wrenches on deployed jets while under attack provided the exact life-saving capabilities required to destroy Iran's ballistic missiles, support deliberate and dynamic targeting, safeguard our pilots in harm's way, including the pivotal role in bringing our downed pilot and Wizzos home safely and winning our nation's wars. And you did it like, yes, give a round of applause to the 9th Reconnaissance Wing. And you did it like true airmen, by innovating under fire. When technology didn't do what you needed it to do, you didn't complain. You modified it. You bent hardware and software to your will, integrating it at speed and scale to find, fix, and quite frankly, kill the enemy faster than anything we've ever witnessed in human history. Ladies and gentlemen, there are libraries littered with history books about the innovation of airmen in combat, and the airmen of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing have written their own legacy. It is for this exact reason that today we're doing something rare. We are not presenting Waldo with a personal decoration. Instead, we are presenting a gallant unit citation. I think that tells you everything that you need to know about Colonel Waldo McLeese. Even on his final day in command, it is not about him. It is entirely about the unit. Waldo, thank you very much. You have run the race, you have kept the faith, and you have led these airmen to glory, without a shadow of a doubt. And as we bid a grateful farewell to the McLeese family, we turn with absolute confidence to Colonel Mick Cameron. When you look at Mick's resume, it reads as if he was custom built by the Air Force to take this guide on. He comes to us fresh from commanding the 9th Operations Group, right here at Beale Air Force Base. He was in the trenches with Waldo, navigating the U-2 divestment, keeping our assets flying, and fighting wars. He has lived and breathed this platform since 2008, starting right here in the 99th Reconnaissance Squadron. He commanded the 99th Expeditionary Reconnaissance Squadron, and he commanded the 9th Operations Group. He's wicked smart, a graduate from both SAS and Army War College, but what defines Mick isn't the schools he attended or his past titles. It's his exceptional, character-driven leadership. Mick, you are the absolute right leader at the absolute right time. I have watched you lead the ops group with distinction, and I have all the confidence in the world that you are the visionary leader who will take the 9th to the next level. The wing has absolutely come a long way, but the horizon in our business is unforgiving and the shot clock is ticking. But you've got this. Congratulations, my friend. To the men and women of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing, when I look around, I see heroes with a long, proud, historic lineage that goes all the way back to Camp Beale in 1942. Your focused and tireless efforts are the silent, unbreakable backbone of American national defense. Every single task you accomplish, no matter how small it may seem in the hangar, in the cockpit, or back in the office, ripples outward to guarantee the safety and sovereignty of the United States of America. Every late night, every impossible challenge you overcame, every target you tracked is a testament to your grit and dedication. You make a profound difference every single day, and you need to know that. We possess the most lethal, most powerful Air Force the world has ever seen, and you are the ones driving that combat power. Our nation's leaders depend on you to see through the fog of war, figuratively and literally. Our fellow service members depend on you to bring them home alive. Never forget the weight of your mission, never forget who you are, and never forget your nation is incredibly proud of you. And know this, your legacy stretches from this hangar to the skies over Iran, Yemen, Venezuela, off the coasts of Russia, China, throughout the world. Waldo, thank you for your leadership in bringing us here. Mick, take us forward. 9th Reconnaissance Wing, the eyes and ears of the nation. Keep them open, keep them fierce. Thank you for always standing ready. Fly, fix, fight, and win. God bless. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lieutenant General Hensley. Ladies and gentlemen, traditionally at this point in a change of command ceremony, the presiding official presents a personal decoration to the outgoing commander. Today, however, Lieutenant General Hensley will instead present a unit-level award recognizing the collective bravery and exceptional performance of the entire 9th Reconnaissance Wing. Colonel McLeese and Command Chief Creek, please join Lieutenant General Hensley center stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the award of the Gallant Unit Citation. The 378th Air Expeditionary Wing, United States Air Force's Central Command, distinguished itself by extraordinary gallantry in connection with military operations against an armed enemy of the United States in Southwest Asia from 15 March 2025 to 7 October 2025. During this period, the 378th Air Expeditionary Wing displayed marked distinction in the face of constant danger. Amidst threat of hostile fire, the wing generated 2,500 combat sorties against Houthi and Iranian forces. Demonstrating unwavering resolve, the 378th absorbed a 220% personnel surge and 100 additional combat aircraft, transforming it into the largest wing in Central Command within 2 months. With remarkable determination, the wing led Operation Rough Rider, downing 85 hostile cruise missiles and drones while employing over 900 air-to-surface munitions. In doing so, the 378th was crucial in restoring freedom of navigation in the Red Sea, providing cover and firepower to ensure safe transit of coalition vessels, achieving presidential objectives, and compelling the Houthis into a ceasefire. On the night of Operation Midnight Hammer, facing imminent threat of ballistic missile and drone attacks, 35 wing aircraft synchronized with a worldwide effort to escort B-2 bombers deep into Iranian airspace on the historic bombing raid, guaranteeing mission success and preventing any losses. Hailed as a spectacular military success by the President of the United States, the wing's actions were pivotal in spurring a ceasefire in the Israeli-Iranian 12-day war, preventing intense regional escalation. The professionalism, dedication to duty, and gallantry demonstrated by the members of the 378th Air Expeditionary Wing reflect great credit upon themselves and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Colonel McLeese will now address the 9th Reconnaissance Wing for the last time as the commander.
Sinbad or deities? Sinbad deities. Thanks, brother. First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. From him, through him, to him are all things. All right. So now let's get to some good thank yous here. The anthem, Sergeant Wynn, fantastic. Thank you. Chaplain De Leon, thank you for those words, brother. They meant a lot to me. So thanks for praying for this wing, and thanks for praying over Mick. Honor Guard, you are crushing it this summer. Thank you so much for your professionalism. You are looking so sharp, and you are representing not only the Air Force and Beale, but you're representing our flag incredibly well every time. Keep it up. Projos, Chris Palmer, Cole Hastritter, and Nick, thank you so much for all the hard work to put this together. It happens through leadership, and your leadership is exemplary, as we can all tell. Protocol, Courtney, Dino, Max, Stroke, thank you for all the hard work this summer, but thank you so much for the work at this event and also in all the other events that unfortunately I have been added to your stress plate. Thank you for your service. Thank you for representing Beale so well, not just the 9th Reconnaissance Wing. I appreciate you. Ushers, Speedy and Lopez, thank you so much for taking care of our families and making sure that they get to where they're supposed to be at the right time. I'm sure that it's not like herding cats at all. I'm sure it's great. Thanks for all the photography from PA and Sergeant Hernandez. I appreciate that. The comm support by Lieutenant Seuss, thank you so much for making sure these speakers are still working even now. And Sinbad, Formation, thank you so much for being out here. I'm glad that you're at ease. I'm glad you guys are holding tight. Stick it out a little bit longer. I'll try to speed up. Maintenance, Sinbad and your leadership, to the whole maintenance team. This hangar looks fantastic. This flag is epic. I love it. We put this thing up there and it's looking beautiful. I'm so grateful. And then now to get our surroundings here with not just T-38s and U-2s, but also our fire trucks, our Defenders, our EOD. We've got AFCMAC represented over there with the bombs. I am so proud of how good it looks. Thank you for putting it all together. And a mobile car too. It looks great. All right, so I'll get through this one, I think. Congressman Gallagher, thank you for being here. Congratulations. It hurts a little bit. Would have loved to have seen Congressman Lamalfa here. He meant a ton to us, a ton. Thanks for stepping in. Thanks for being here. It means a lot. It is not lost on any single one in this hangar that you're here. Thanks for picking up the flag. Thanks for carrying it forward, and thanks for sticking up for Beale. I really appreciate it. And also Lisa and Carrie, thank you so much for being here. Your steadfast support is outstanding, so thanks. Not to be lost, though, also Congressman Thompson, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for your engagement with us. I really appreciate that. And I know that's not just politics. So thank you. It's heartfelt, and I really appreciate it. Okay, I got through that part. That was hard. Supporting that time, that season of his passing was hard on all of us. But getting to do that flyby for him was making it all worth it. All right. General Hensley, Chief McKendry, thank you so much for being here. You don't have to spend all that time to glow on the 9th Reconnaissance Wing, but thanks for doing it. They need to know how good they are. And to hear that from my commander, I think that's a strong and powerful voice. Thank you for being that voice. General, your laser focus on mission is perfect. It's exactly what we need to make sure that we stay focused on what is most important right now. You're not just focused on the current thing, and you're not focused on the next current thing. You're focused well out into the future. You have a strategic vision for us. You've always had it. You haven't wavered. And I know exactly what you would want from me at any given time, even though I'm geographically separated 1,000 miles away, so thank you. I appreciate your steadfast support, your trust. None of that is lost on me, and you didn't have to be that trusting, but you were, so I'm grateful. So thanks for being out here, and thanks for your words and your leadership. Prior Recce Ones, thank you for being here, General Palumbo. I appreciate it. Colonel Geatica, or General Geatica, thank you. Sorry, I knew you as Colonel Trout once back in the day, so when I see you, I flash back, sorry. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your engagement with our base and the engagement with our community. Thank you. Honorary Commanders, Paul Joyner, thanks for being here. Willie, where you at, brother? I haven't seen your face yet. I knew you were here. Okay. Willie, you're a fantastic honorary commander. I know sometimes you're like, what? I don't feel like I'm doing enough. Brother, your presence is what I need. And your presence is exactly when it needs to be, where it needs to be. I'm so grateful for your friendship, and I'm grateful for your support. You represent and reflect exactly what I want to see in the entire honorary commander program, so thank you for leading well. I appreciate it, and thank you for your engagement, your support, and supporting our community and supporting our base. I really appreciate it, Willie. Fantastic. Team Beale tenants, I don't have time to go through all of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support, the support of your airmen, the support of your time, the support of your resources, and always having our back, knowing that we would have yours. So thank you for the relationship. I really greatly appreciate it, and I think you know it. I've given many thank yous over the past month or so to many of the different wing staff agencies, CPTS, all the different groups. Those thank yous continue. I wish I could do it all by name, but I'm not going to have time to do it all over again. Commanders, senior enlisted leaders, first shirts, thank you so much for your leadership and support for our base and for helping me out and get through this. Community partners, BMLC, CMAC, YARC, all the honorary commanders who are here, thank you for engaging with us. I came in wanting to make sure that we were well engaged with the community. I think we are better engaged now than when I came in. Not that we were in a bad place, but we keep moving it forward, and that is because of you and your engagement, your desire to support our airmen. I am so grateful. I don't think I'll ever be able to say thank you enough for your engagement. When I took the stage about 2 years ago, I said we are going to make sure that we focus on deploying, redeploying, and reconstituting, not really knowing what was going to happen. Let me give you a little bit of sense of what happened after that. We ended up having an engine oil pooling problem in the U-2, and we ended up having a temporary pause for safety, and we didn't know when we'd get flying again. I watched the team come together and figure out exactly how to tackle that problem, trusted by ACC and the Headquarters Air Force for us to solve that problem and get these U-2s airborne rapidly. That was all before we did all of our exercises with Agile Flag and Bamboo Eagle in order to get ready for our Expeditionary Air Base deployment. And that took a lot of us out of our normal jobs and put into uncomfortable positions that we would need to be in as we got ready for the deployment. And then at that point, we had to split the wing. I took about 200 of our airmen over to Saudi Arabia with us, where we led the base. And we led it well. And I'm so proud of how we did it. But what I'm not just proud of is not just that. But I'd like to point out, Colonel Bartram, Bog, are you in here? There he is. I knew it. Leadership, brother. You led well. You led so well while I was overseas. You were leading here. I could not have done that without your leadership. It deserves to be called out on this stage. Thank you. Job well done, brother, and I hope you're still enjoying that retirement a year later. And so then we went off, we were split, leading 2 bases at once, and we finally redeployed. And like General said, what did? We decided to host our first air show in 7 years. No big deal. We did it within like 2 months, and we hosted about 35,000 of our closest friends here and had a spectacular air show with no safety issues, no logistics issues, all done spectacularly, incredibly secure. I couldn't be more proud, and we are ready for next year's air show to forge the future in April of 2027. Mick, I know you're going to lead that real well. After the air show, in the midst of all that air show, actually, I should say, and the deployment, we had significant manning struggles that we had to work through. We had the deferred resignation program where we lost some of our civilians for good reasons, but we still lost them. We had a hiring freeze where we weren't allowed to hire any civilians during that time. We had the longest furlough, the government shutdown in American history, and we didn't just have one, we had 2. And we led through that, and it just shows how important our civilian airmen are, not just our uniformed airmen. And that's when I think that their presence and power shined greatly because they were greatly missed. In the midst of that, what did we do? We divested 8 airframes and sent them off to the Boneyard or various museums and maintenance. You crushed it and delivered well. And the timeline I gave you was expeditious, and you exceeded that. Also, we hosted a scout expo of 3,600 plus scouts and leaders over the course of a weekend when it was raining, freezing, windy, and they still stuck it out, and so did all of the volunteers, or I shouldn't say volunteers, the ones who I asked to lead that, they did it, and they did it well, and they did it with a volunteer heart. We had hundreds of deployed airmen on 6-month rotations over and over and over again. And I could go through all the squadrons that were hurting through manning struggles that we had. And then not only did we have those 6-month rotations, we have our normal forward operating locations where we operate all of our U-2s at, where they're on a 1-to-1 dwell. So for every day they're deployed, they only get to be home 1 day, and then they have to do it again after they're gone for, say, 90 days. They're doing that on a rotational basis. Meanwhile, we're doing those 6-month deployments, all with the struggling manning, all while supporting tenants and getting them out the door. You guys are incredible. You're incredible. Meanwhile, what else did we do? We had Operation Midnight Hammer. We had Operation Absolute Resolve with Venezuela. We had to send deployers out for that. We had Operation Epic Fury, and it was epic what we did. And we were sending extra deployers out the door, as I already mentioned. And by the way, we didn't end up divesting the U-2. We kept it going, and our operations kept increasing. We had a 900% increase in U-2 student pilot production, and that's not just about the pilots. It's about the whole logistics tail that goes into making that happen. I couldn't be more proud of that. Meanwhile, over on our Common Mission Control Center enterprise, we increased our throughput 187% with 0% manning increase. And if that wasn't enough, in the same CMCC enterprise, we had a 400% increase in operations, all with a 0% manning increase, and we were giving information to the President of the United States that he was using to make his command decisions for us. Well done. And the entire time, Mick was by my side. The entire time. Mick, you're ready for this, man. You are custom fit for this, without question. You are an upgrade to me, without a doubt. You've been here over and over, time and time again. Brother, you're ready. And you've been by my side, making all that stuff that they just clap for. A lot of that was through your leadership. So you earned that one, brother. But who is by my side additionally? I know who is by my side. I have my community, my church family who's over here. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate you being here. It's good. I have my military family all surrounding me. There's many here from different facets. We'll get it after it in retirement ceremony, which I'm refusing to admit is coming up. But what I want to address 2 people. Chief Creek, holding the flag, you're looking good. A little bit longer, man. I got to get these out here. Chief, you were with me for 2 straight years. You came off of a 1-year remote, and you went with me overseas on yet another 6-month remote. You were always by my side. I think out of probably 500 some odd meals that we ate overseas, we probably only had about 5 to 10 that we didn't eat together. He was always there. We never disagreed. We always got along. He always had my back. And then he came here and kept doing it. That dude's a stud. He's going places. He better be going places. General, please help him out. Just as much as Bog deserved to get called out, so does Fast. Fast has been gone on an Italian vacation and just got back late last night and probably didn't sleep at all because of the jet lag. And his bride is right by his side, Fast and Stacy. I want to say this. I know you value it, and I want to say it. You're loyal, fiercely loyal. You're my loyal wingman, brother. I wouldn't have wanted to do this without you. I couldn't have done it without you. You made up for every single gap that I had in my personality or knowledge base. You exceeded it. You filled in for it. And I didn't realize just how good of a pick you were when you came in, and you just watered my eyes with how well, and you're about to water my eyes if I'm not careful, but with how well you did. Stacy, thanks for having us back. Thanks for being such a steadfast supporter. Kat, thank you for supporting your husband so well. You guys rock. I appreciate you. I really value you. And then my family. Dottie, you deserved all that praise. Thank you for doing that, General, so I could keep it together. I appreciate that. Kids, thanks for having my back through it all. Thanks for enduring one more deployment. We're done with deployments now, but you did great. I'm proud. Corton, you're doing fantastic. You know what? I better hold off. I'll get that on retirement time. But I'm proud of you. Thank you for your support for 2 years. Thanks for your sacrifice. Okay, so what do we do now? What do I know? I'll end with this. What I know is anyone who seeks to be an adversary of the United States of America, if you're in Central America, if you're in South America, we're watching, we're knowing exactly what you're doing. If you happen to be over in the Middle East, we are watching, always watching, and we know exactly what you're doing. If you're in the polar or Arctic regions, we're there. We're watching, and we know exactly what you're doing. If you're in the Indo-Pacific, we are always watching, and we know exactly what you're doing. If you are anywhere in between, good luck, we're there. The 9th Reconnaissance Wing is there. We are always watching, we always know what you're doing, and Mick is going to take this well into the future. Hail Dragons.
Thank you, Colonel McLeese. At this time, we would like to take a moment to recognize a very special and important member of our family, Dottie. On behalf of the men and women of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing, we thank you and your family's sacrifices over the last 2 years. May your next chapter be filled with new adventures and memories. Colonel McLeese will now receive one final salute from the troop commander, Colonel Brent McCraney, and the members of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing as a gesture of their respect and admiration for his leadership and vision. For a detailed history of this sacred military tradition, please refer to the back of your official program. The change of command ceremony you will witness today is a time-honored tradition dating back to the 18th century. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the official change of command. Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force, Headquarters, Air Combat Command, 16th Air Force, 9th Reconnaissance Wing, Special Order, Geoff 02. By direction of the President, Colonel Keagan McLeese will relinquish command of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing to Colonel Jeffrey Cameron, effective 17 June 2026. Signed, Lieutenant General Thomas Hensley, Commander, 16th Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my honor to present the commander of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing, Colonel Geoffrey Cameron.
Good morning, Recce Town. It's with a proud sense of humility and gratitude that I stand before you today as the new commander of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing. General Hensley, thank you so much for presiding over today's ceremony, for making the quick trip out from San Antonio, and really just thank you so much for your leadership. The confidence that you've placed in this wing has been instrumental to our successes, and your advocacy has been amazing. Even more importantly, thank you for leading 16th Air Force through a challenging 2026. Lots of early mornings at Beale. Waldo and I had the opportunity to see you lead the NAF to new heights. You showed the Joint Force what an integrated team can do in combat, and I'm honored to serve with you and for you. Chief, thanks for being there by his side and keeping this going. I know we've already said it a couple times, but I want to extend a special thanks to all our distinguished visitors in attendance today. Your presence here today honors the men and women of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing and Team Beale, and we're grateful for your continued support to our mission. Everyone in this room is a DV in my book, but I don't think we've got time to go name by name, so I'll hit the highlights on a few folks. Congressman Thompson, Congressman Gallagher, thanks for being here, even though just stepping into the seat. Your time to be here today is such an honor to Beale, and we thank you for your support. To Alex McDonald from Representative Kiley's office, all of you do so much for this space, and we can't say thank you enough. General Gaetica, it's great to see you. General Palumbo, thanks for coming back as a former Recce 1 and honoring this team. You shaped my career and made it possible for me to be here, and I'm so thankful that you could make it out. To our many state, local elected officials in attendance, honorary commanders, Willie, I can't wait to work with you. BMLC, CMAC, Beale High Flyers, thank you for supporting us and for supporting this community. As already has been said a couple times, an event like this doesn't happen without a dedicated team working tirelessly behind the scenes. My sincere thanks to the protocol team who's probably running around getting ready for the next thing, led by Miss Courtney Lee, Dino, Mac, Stroke. Trust me, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train this time. You guys crushed this event and many others over this past month. To our project officers, Major Chris Palmer, Captain Cole Hashstrider, Lieutenant Nick Swanchera, thank you for your meticulous planning. I've seen less attention to detail put into O plans and ATOs than this team did into this change of command. Boss, if you need planners, if we go back to Major Combat Ops again, I know some great folks that could jump in the OC. Staff Sergeant Wynn, thank you for that amazing rendition of our national anthem. And Chaplain De Leon for your powerful invocation. I thank God every day that I'm part of this wing, and having chaplains and leaders like you is instrumental to our success. Lieutenant Williamson, thank you for your expert narration for today's ceremony. Speedy Zoe, Salvador Gill, Honor Guard CE Maintenance Comm, you guys crushed it. Thank you for ensuring this event looks good, sounds awesome, and is broadcast around the world. Colonel Waldo McLeese, Dottie, Corton, Madeline, Caroline, Cabin, you've been an exceptional command team. Your family's grace, resilience, and unwavering support for our airmen, both here at Beale and while leading from PSAB, have been an inspiration. You'll be missed on Lakeview. On behalf of a grateful wing, thank you for your service and sacrifice. We wish you nothing but the best as you embark on your next adventure in Phoenix, and please swing by if you need a little break and get up to NorCal. To my fellow 06s, squadron commanders, and the many SELs in attendance in and outside the NARN-OW that make up Team Beale, I'm so excited to partner with you and your families to advance all of our missions. I also look forward to many First Fridays, fire pits, barbecues, and driveway chats over the next couple years. Sinbad, you look amazing leading the formation there. Chief Creek, thank you so much for holding the guide on today and really holding up this wing. I honestly can't imagine stepping into this job without you by my side. Thank you, Kat and Sadie, for all that you do for our airmen. You're an exceptional leader, and I can't wait to learn from you over the next year. To my own family, to my mom, dad, stepmom Loretta, you taught me everything I know, and I wouldn't be here without you and your support over the past 45 years. To Kim's mom, T, and Min, who couldn't be here with us today, you've meant so much to us and our family. And all the family who's traveled out from the Bay Area and across the world, friends around the room. It's great to see a lot of old faces back at Beale. Thank you so much. To my amazing wife, Kim, and our boys, Lincoln, Quincy, Xander, your love, patience, and support are the bedrock of my life and the source of my strength. You're my why, and sharing this incredible moment with you means everything. I'm so excited to embark on another adventure with you, and even more excited that we didn't have to uproot our family and only move a couple hundred feet down the road, even though that was not as easy as I expected it to be. Thanks for being here, for everything that we do, and for the many adventures over the years. Thanks even for sticking through a roof leak and an AC failure the night before a wing change of command, but it wouldn't be an Air Force event without something like that. And thank you in advance for all you'll do to help me and Team Beale over the years ahead. For me, this isn't just a new assignment. This is a dream come true. It's weird to say this, but I've spent more time at Beale than anywhere else in my entire life. This surrounding community and this team is a part of who I am. As a U-2 pilot, we call Beale the mothership. No matter where you go around the world, it pulls you back, and honestly, most of us don't want to go anywhere else but here. This base, these airmen, and this community are woven into the very fabric of my being. To be able to continue serving here after 2 years leading the incredible airmen of the 9th Operations Group is an honor of a lifetime. 15 years ago, I sat in the 9RWCC office as the wing exec, so Stryker, Noah, I feel your pain. Captain me would have never imagined that I would have the opportunity to sit on the other side of that wall 15 years later and serve alongside many incredible airmen and guardians that make up this dynamic base. The opportunity to be here as your commander is a dream realized. To the men and women of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing, as awesome as the aircraft and equipment is behind you, you, not a network, a building, or a machine, are the reason our adversaries have nowhere to hide. Your pioneering spirit, ownership, scrappy innovation, and relentless pursuit of excellence are what makes the Recce mission a global strategic advantage for America. You ensure that Beale enables America's power projection, and I'm incredibly proud to work alongside you as we write the next chapter of this wing and installation's awesome legacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Cameron. Colonel Cameron will now receive his first salute and a warm welcome from the Troop Commander, Colonel McCraney, and the members of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing as their commander. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the U-2 outside of Dock 8. It is a time-honored tradition for the wing flagship to be renamed with each new commander. Crew Chief Staff Sergeant Lydia Pascal will now reveal the 9th Reconnaissance Wing commander's name. As we welcome our new commander, we would also like to extend a warm welcome to his family, Colonel Cameron's wife, Kim, and their children, Lincoln, Quincy, and Xander. On behalf of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing, please know of our appreciation for the sacrifices all of you will make for our wing and the Air Force moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, in keeping with Air Force tradition, please stand and remain standing for the singing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. At him now, give him the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame or go down in flames. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. Please join us for a receiving line to welcome Colonel Cameron and his family. Following the receiving line, all are invited to please join the Cameron family at the 1st Reconnaissance Squadron Heritage Room for refreshments. Thank you for attending today's ceremony.